Alright, hey guys, this is Drake Rush.
What's going on, Ryan Steinsdorfer?
Alright, today we're pretty much going to be doing a review of all the baits that I picked up today at Field and Stream. This is our first video, so just comment and tell us what you want us to talk about next time and what baits maybe we should try. We're going to do some fishing videos around some local ponds and hopefully get into some bigger lakes later this fall. But first thing I would throw is a chatterbait. You guys can see that very well. I actually don't even know the color on this. It doesn't even say anywhere.
Like a bluegill.
Yeah, it's got a whole bunch of different colors, so just a cool bait I found and thought I'd pick it up. And I fish a lot of dirty water, so I picked up a gold blade. And if I want to get on the bigger fish, I like to throw on a swim bait on the back of them, a pretty lengthy one. And if you guys have like a lot of smaller fish that's in your area, you can bite off or just cut off a little bit of the head and just match it up to your chatterbait. Alright. Next bait, probably one of my favorite baits because number one's buzzbait, number two top water's my favorite thing. Just picked this up, I've never used it. Actually, I think you told me about the bubbles.
Yeah, the circles inside the buzzbait. You can actually do them yourself at home with just a regular drill. I'd stick to probably an 1/8 inch drill bit. Drill anywhere from 4 to 5 holes. And when you drill those holes in there, not only does the buzzbait itself rotate and allow the waves and everything for the fish to follow, but once you drill those holes in, it allows bubbles, so it gives it an extra attraction for bass. And definitely once you get into that fall time or nice calm waters, or even spawning times when those fish are really agitated and really edgy, throwing those on top of there, they just launch on them all the time. I like throwing buzzbaits with the holes in there. The bubbles help out a lot.
And if you don't know, which I'm guessing you do know if you're watching this video, but this just pretty much imitates like a shad. And like I said, we fish dirty water, so picked up the black with the gold. Alright, next is a jig. It's a Gambler heavy cover swim jig, and the reason I picked a swim jig for fall is number one, you can swim it because the bass are going to be chasing the bait fish. What happens is the bait fish go into small creeks, like creek entrances or like small coves and stuff, and you could just throw that in there and swim this. And I'm throwing it on
A little critter crawl, black blue claw by Zoom right there. That's what it looks like.
Never used it before, but just figured I'd give it a try. I'm always up for new stuff. But also, the reason I picked this bait is not only can you swim it, but you find a nice lay down or something you'd want to pitch this into. You can work it just like a regular pitching jig. But there's that. Then got this out of his tackle box because I didn't pick one up. I already have plenty of them. Like I said, chatterbait, white for more clear water, or you can use it in dirty water. It puts off so much vibration. Honestly, I don't think it matters, but you just got that trailer on. And actually, my biggest bass I've ever caught was about 6.5 pounds. Well, that's what my scale read, but I'm not getting into that. But just on this trailer, so it's definitely a good bait just to use really year round. Next is the jerkbait, and actually I bought 2 of these. This is a Rapala rattling suspending jerkbait, husky jerk, and I don't know what the color is. I don't really read up on the colors. The original Finnish minnow, but pretty much I don't really fish these too often, but I've heard a lot of good reviews on them and stuff, so I figured I'd try it out. You just cast it out there. I suggest braided line, but if you're going to throw braided line in clear water have a fluorocarbon leader hooked onto this to your braided line, and just reel it and then just jig it real hard a couple times and then just let it go down, and hopefully you can get that reaction strike. Next is the lipless. This is a, what is it, lunker hut. I've also never fished with this one. I fished with other lipless, but I seen this and thought it was pretty cool. There's, oh, try to get it to focus. Can't really see. Anyway, there's two places you can tie on. If you tie on the front, it's going to be more of a tight wiggle, or whatever you want to call it, tight swim. And if you tie it on the back, it's going to be more wide. And I would throw this if you have fishing, like if you're on the boat and you're fishing like a big lake or something that has a lot of coves. Those bait fish, like I said, are going to be in the coves, like either on the sides and stuff, and those bigger bass are going to be sitting towards the middle, waiting for one of those little ones to go out. And this is just a really great bait to use. Next, actually the last thing, stuff. It is a popper. I believe this is, I think it's Rapala, Rapala, whatever you want to call it. This is mine, this is his. I didn't pick one up, also got a lot of those. But I like to throw this around like vegetation and stuff, weeds, whatever you guys want to call it.
When the bait fish are jumping.
And pretty much, it just sits in the water, and you just give it 2 or 3 jerks and let it sit. And usually they'll hit on the paws. And also a tip I'd give you guys is get a red mouth. I found that red mouse, they just really love that. I've thrown other poppers without red mouse and stuff, but I seem to get more fish, I think, just because of the red mouth. And the last thing I want to talk about is the line. I picked up 65-pound j-braid. Never used it, just lined my pole with it tonight. I heard some good reviews on it, so got that. And then Sufix clear line, I think it's 12, yeah, it's 12-pound. And the reason I got that is because I fish, if I'm fishing like crankbaits and stuff, I fish a lot of clear water if I'm using those, if I'm not just pond fishing. But also with the braided line, what you do is you just spool this on just a little bit onto your reel, because if you just spool this on, it's going to slip when you set the hook. But with just a little bit of this, like maybe just 5 or 6 times around, just to really cover it just a little bit, it just really prevents the slip. And that's about all. You got anything to say, bud?
Not much. Pretty much covered it.
Oh, I forgot one jerkbait.
The knot is the most important part.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
You know more about that than I do because you're the one doing it.
Alright, so pretty much how to actually tie the fluorocarbon or monofilament, whatever you want to use, onto the braided line is, once it's on, spooled on, make sure you run it through all the eyes of the pole. And what you want to do is you want to tie this into a knot and then just clip off the excess. Tie it about 2 times. Just give it a nice thick knot, and then you tie the braid on, because you can't really tie the braid onto this without it slipping. So that knot really helps out. And then I completely forgot about this. I didn't even know he made this, but Gary Yamamoto jerkbait. It's in what color is this? It doesn't even say. Tenkuu jerkbait? I don't know. But it's got mustad hooks. I really like those hooks. They're very good. Also, I would suggest if you get like any like Strike King or pretty much just Strike King. I like a lot of their square bills. That's also really good. I didn't take one out of the bag. I completely forgot about it, but I would change out those hooks to like a, I don't know, whatever you think is the best hook, but I really like the Mustad. It's just a good hook, and it doesn't really bend out too easy. Oh, that's my preference, but you got anything else, bud?
No, that's about all.
Alright guys, well, thanks for watching, and comment, like I said, if you want us to try any new baits, if you want to see how a bait works, or need any tips or anything, and good luck fishing.